Welcome back to Reading Bear. Today, we will take a look at some new I Don't Work Here Lady stories. And if you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comments. Let's go!
The first story is titled, Sorry, Replacement, I'm Not Training You. This happened over 18 years ago, but I remember it like yesterday. I had worked for a law firm in a clerical role for about 3 years. Though not a lawyer, I ended up doing a lot of work that lawyers normally handled, but not for lawyer pay. Anyway, I'd landed my dream job in another field, more interesting, better hours, better benefits, double the pay. I hit the jackpot and was on my second from last day at the law firm, having respectfully given and honored my 2 weeks' notice. As it happened, I needed to take an extended lunch break one day to handle some business related to my pending new job. I arranged it ahead of time and even came in 2 hours early to make sure all my work was completed on time. Damn, I was too conscientious. Anyway, my lunch business took me longer than expected and I returned about an hour later than planned. No big deal, right? I had very little left to do and only 2 more days at that job anyway. Nope. The HR manager found me as I got to my desk, called me to her office and fired me on the spot. I managed not to smile and thank her, because I was thrilled to have an extra couple of days off before heading to my new position. I had a little spring in my step as I walked to my desk to pack up my stuff. I can neither confirm nor deny that I was whistling a happy tune. In truth, there was only one thing I still had needed to do on my final 2 days. Though not a lawyer, I essentially took care of all the estate planning clients, wills, advance medical directives and such. I'd take all the info from the clients, generate all the forms, check for compliance with all the laws and hand it to the attorney. He'd skim it, sign it and bill his hourly rate for the hours I worked. It was a cash cow for the firm, because I made next to nothing. Anyway, though I was good at the work, the files were rather a mess. Let's just say my system worked for me, but it was eclectic. As I was packing my desk, I left them piled in a box on the floor. Moments before I was preparing to walk out of there for the last time, the young attorney, yes, attorney, who had been assigned to take over that part of my work came up to my desk. He said, HR manager told me to come find you and have you show me the estate planning files. She said you'd show me what I need to do. I had the incredible pleasure of being able to look at him and say, with the most sincere and innocent tone, I'm sorry. I don't work here. Then I pointed at the pile of files and suggested HR manager would have to help him. Then I picked up my box of personal effects and walked away. And, just as sweet as could be, poked my head into the HR manager's office on my way out to assure her that there were no hard feeling and to let her know young attorney was probably going to be looking for her. The next story is titled, I got reported to management for a company I don't work for. Happened a few years ago. Friend and I decided to hit up GameStop to see if there was anything worth buying. I just happened to be wearing a polo shirt and had a lanyard ID around my neck because I had just left the office. This kid comes up to me in the Xbox section and asks me if a certain game is available for PS3. He must have been about 12, knowing a fair bit about video games. I happen to know that yes, this title was available on multiple consoles. I went ahead and answered him in the affirmative, yes, this title was available for PS3. He simply says, get it for me. I pause and look down at this kid, excuse me? Get it for me, I want to buy it. I tell him, how about, you go get it for yourself, the shelf is right there. And point off into the distance. I start to turn away and he forcefully demands again that I get him this damn game. I went ahead and kneeled so that I was eye level with him and told him, if you want that game so bad, walk your little ass over there and pick it up, I'm not your idiot. Kid runs off and gets his mum. My buddy and I are having a good chuckle at this. We get our games and head off to stand in line. While we are making our way through the line, here comes the kid again with his mum in tow. This GameStop is attached to a bookstore, so I guess mum decided to let GameStop babysit her little hellspawn while she sneaked off to look at 50 Shades of Lame. Mum is throwing a crap fit at the front saying that some employee told her child to walk his fat idiot ass over to a shelf and get a game himself, and she demands that said employee is fired. Right about now my buddy and I are stepping up to the register to pay for our games while mum and her kid are looking for said employee. The kid looks up at me and goes, that's him. Mum just explodes on me with a ton of vitriol, she's going to have me fired and blah blah blah. Meanwhile my buddy and I are cracking the duck up, HES telling me crap like, "Oh no, you're going to get fired dude," or asking the person ringing us up if we can have my employee discount before I'm terminated. This circus is only causing me to laugh harder, which in turn is making her even more angry. In the midst of me on the verge of tears from laughing, this lady losing her crap, my buddy goading this woman on further and screwing with the GameStop employees asking for my employee discount. The manager comes up front and asks what's going on. Lady explains how I was rude to her son and refused to do my job, how I used foul language at her child and I was very unprofessional, she wanted me gone, etc, etc. Manager looks at me, looks back at this lady, at me, back at lady and tells her, "Ma'am, he doesn't work for GameStop." Dead. Silence. My buddy then speaks up, so I take it that's a no on his employee discount. The next story is titled, Overbearing. Karen thinks I work in a doctor's office and tries to get me to violate HIPAA, then threatens to have me fired when I don't. So as part of my actual job, my company sends me to different clinics to audit their invoices to ensure insurance companies aren't getting scammed for unnecessary or UN-performed patient procedures. It happens more than you know. Normally, when I'm at a clinic they'll stick me in an unused office or a cubicle so I'm out of sight and don't interfere with their normal operations. However, yesterday, during a clinic visit, they didn't have anywhere to put me except the front desk with the receptionist. This wasn't a problem for me since it does happen on occasion and I'm just there to get the job done and head out. So, I'm sitting there in the front office desk looking over the clinic's documents when the receptionist gets called back to assist with a patient. After a few minutes, I hear someone cough slightly to the right of me and look up. I'll call her Karen because she had the haircut and the attitude. Karen, in a rude voice, "I've been standing here for the past couple of minutes and you've yet to acknowledge me. You should be ashamed of yourself. Is this how this clinic is run?" Me, "I'm sorry ma'am, the receptionist just stepped out for a moment. She'll be back soon. I can't help you as I don't work here." She looks me up and down like she's judging how I'm dressed. I should mention that I'm dressed in standard business attire, blazer, shirt, tie, and black slacks with my company logo and name tag hanging from a lanyard. "Karen, how stupid do you think I am? You're sitting at the front desk of a clinic dressed like that and you don't work here? I should file a complaint against you with your boss." Me, "Listen ma'am, I've already told you I don't work here. Take it or leave it, but I work for company name," and hold up my badge. "Now if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to my work," and ignore her. Karen, now infuriated, "How dare you? Do you know who I am? My husband works with the owner of this clinic and he'll be hearing about your poor customer service skills." Me, still looking at documents, "Good for him. I repeat, I don't work here. Wait for the receptionist." Karen tries to change tactics and fake smiles at me. "Look, I'm sure you're busy so I won't take much of your time. All I need to know is my daughter-in-law's next OB appointment. Her name is name. It shouldn't take you too long to find her in your calendar. I just need to know what time it is so I can be here to meet her." Me, now looking at her, "Are you deaf? I've already told you I don't work here and even if I did, you're asking me to violate HIPAA laws. Do you know how serious that is? You need to ask her directly if she's actually willing to have you with her. Though I doubt it." Karen, "You don't know what you're talking about. That idiot should have told me when she was scheduling her first ultrasound. That's my grandchild in there and I need to be here to see him. Now tell me when her appointment is, otherwise I'll have you fired." Me, "You need help lady. You need to leave now before I have someone call security." Karen, "You're threatening me?" The doctor and receptionist hear the loud commotion and come out to the front desk. "Doctor, what's going on here?" Me, "This woman doesn't understand that I don't work for you and she's trying to find out her in-law's appointment." Karen, now panicking, "Your receptionist," pointing at me, "has been useless and won't give me the information I've asked for. He needs to be fired." Receptionist, to Karen, "He doesn't work here." Doctor, "I'll take care of this," and she intercoms the security office. "Hi, we need a guard to come to office 123 to escort someone out. She's disturbing one of our vendors," and says thank you once they confirm someone will be here shortly. Once Karen realizes she's about to be escorted out, "I'm not leaving, I have a right to know how my grandson is doing. I have a right. She starts shouting profanities at us for a couple of minutes when a burly security guard arrives and tells her to leave, otherwise he'll call the police on her for trespassing. She refuses, so he grabs her by the arm and drags her screaming out of the office. That was the last I saw of her, but the receptionist called the daughter-in-law to inform her what just happened. After the call, the receptionist laughs and tells me that the in-law didn't want the woman anywhere near her and her baby to be. It seems her and her husband are no contact, which explained part of the craziness. The next story is titled, "Company paid me for months after I had quit since they didn't realize I didn't work there anymore." When I was in college, I worked for maybe 2 weeks at a clothing store that is well known for their ads with preppy, muscular college guys with no shirts on and pretty girl next door type girls. My roommate worked there, so I got a job there as well. I've never worked somewhere that was as badly managed as this store. I showed up for my shifts the first week and nobody even knew I was supposed to be there or what I was supposed to be doing. They just told me to walk around and fold clothes and never trained me on anything. My roommate and I would leave and shop in the mall. You had to wear their clothing to work there, and when I went to buy some clothes with my discount, the manager, another college girl, told me to just take it as that is what they all do. I am not someone who is comfortable with stealing, so I insisted on paying for my things, which seemingly annoyed the manager. I ended up just not going back to work after like a week or two, as the place was such a train wreck. I kept receiving paychecks for weeks after I had quit. I called corporate and tried to explain that I didn't actually work there anymore, but was still getting paid for my scheduled shifts, and they seemed just as confused as I was. The paychecks kept coming. I called multiple times as I was worried they would demand I had to pay the money back when they realized their mistake, and I was getting annoyed by having to keep calling. Someone in corporate told me to just keep them and he would fix the issue. They finally stopped coming after at least 2 months of free pay, and I never did have to pay the money back. Years later, I was married and received a letter from a lawyer in the mail in regards to a class action suit against the company I had worked for all of a week or two, claiming, ironically, I was entitled to money for them not paying me enough. It had something to do with them requiring employees to wear their clothing, which was funny considering I knew those employees had been stealing the clothes anyway. I figured I might as well be included in the class action, as I had purchased quite a few pieces of their clothing for my very short time of working there, and to be honest, I was just amused by the whole thing at this point and wanted to see what would happen. I ended up getting a $100 gift card in the mail a while later after I had forgotten all about it. They calculated it based on how long I was paid for my employment there, not by how long I was actually employed there. I was like, man, this store really wants to keep paying me, even years later. They just refuse to take the hint that I don't work here, lady. The next story is titled, "Finally got to tell a customer what we'd all been thinking." A while back, I was a bartender at an upscale restaurant, was dating another bartender and was good friends with 2 of the managers. The owner was a pompous ass but had 2 locations but almost never was at my location. The other one was in the trendy part of town, so of course he had to be seen there. We had this one lady who loved to come to the bar. She would tell anyone and everyone working that she was friends with the owner, actually true, and used that to treat everyone like crap. Snapping fingers, calling out, "Hey you, I need another drink." All while bragging about the car she drove, the presents that her boyfriends would give her. Since she was actually friends with the owner, we just took it. We knew she would get most if not all her tab comp and not tips, so we just shuddered when she walked in. She had 2 steady boyfriends and a third that seemed to rotate. She was good looking if you like fake parts. We called her the entitled C*NT. When she was with a boyfriend she was only a bit horrible, but when she was alone she would get really drunk and piss off other patrons or hit on the older men to the point they would leave, affecting your tips all night. It's one thing if I know it's just one tab him getting screwed on, another thing entirely when you affect my whole night. Fast forward about 8 months. I left the job to go back to school full-time, but my GF is still bartending there and I would go in frequently to have a meal on the cheap and a free beer or 2. One of these nights she shows up. Lady snaps at my GF, "I need another Chardonnay. Quick." GF, who is taking another customer's food order, "I'll be right there in a minute." Lady looks at me, you work here. Get me a drink." Me, watching the game on TV and eating my dinner, ignores her. Lady gets in my face. "You. I was talking to you. Get me my drink." Me, ma'am, I don't work here anymore. Lady, yes you do. I see you working here all the time. Get me my drink. Don't you know who I am? I know the owner. I look at my girlfriend, and give her a little smirk as if to say, may I, and she nods back. I didn't want her to get in trouble, but the friendly manager was working that night and the owner was nowhere to be found. The stars had aligned. Me, I don't work here, and since I don't, let me tell you what everyone who does work here thinks of you. You are the singularly most obnoxious guest that walks through these doors. We call you the entitled C*NT behind your back. You're a drunk, a gold digger, and fake from head to toe. We count down the minutes until you leave. I turn to the boyfriend that's with her that night. You know she has at least 2 other boyfriends, right? Apparently, no one has ever talked to her like this before, and her jaw is on the floor. You can see the hamster wheels spinning in her tiny brain, and knowing the crap show I have started, sit back and take a long drink of my beer and prepare to get reamed out. But before she can start, her boyfriend goes, "What?" Apparently he did not know about the other boyfriends. So what I thought was going to be a rant-filled ass chewing coming my way turned completely 180 on her. He starts going off on her and the restaurant is dead silent listening to him ream her out. How could she be sleeping around after all he has done for her? Cars, Condos presents. After all that, she was F***ing around on him. He storms out and she runs after him. That was one of the sweetest beers of my life. After story, of course she called the owner and idioted about me, but he confirmed I no longer worked there. My GF got written up for allowing me to talk like that, but she never came back to that location. I was banned by the owner, but since he rarely was in, I still got to go hang out with my GF and manager friend. The next story is titled, No Words Were Needed. It was mid-December, so the Christmas shopping frenzy was in full swing. I had already done mine on Cyber Monday, but that particular morning I had fed my cat the last crumbs at the bottom of the bag and really needed to stop after work to get cat food among other absolute essentials. I stopped at the local Blue Vest place because it was my only chance to grab everything I needed in one stop. As soon as I stepped through the doors, I felt eyes on me. Intensely. Then it dawned on me, I had worn my blue company polo today. Same shade and everything, save for a print of the healthcare company I work for on the right breast pocket. I resolved to get in, at least get the cat food, no kitty of mine goes hungry, stay low-key, and get out. I stayed out of the main aisles. I didn't make eye contact with anyone. If somebody started approaching me, I quickly ducked around a corner. I was killing it. I had everything but the cat food when I finally ran into the boss of this level. There were several people in the cat food aisle, including an older man. He was visibly confused and upset, and was shuffling through cat food bags. They quite obviously didn't have his brand on display. I approached slowly and quietly, like a lioness stalking prey through the tall grass of the savannah. I reached around the man and grabbed the kitty kibble. I thought I was home free, but when I dropped the bag in my hand basket, the old guy finally noticed me. He locked eyes with me. He took a breath and was preparing to say something probably along the lines of, "Hey, could you check the back for blah blah brand?" If he asked me for help, other customers would hear, and at that point it might as well be sharks drawn to blood in the water. I took a gamble. Before a sound escaped him, I quickly put my finger to my lips indicating for him to shush. The gambit paid off. Rather than get incensed at the audacity of the gesture to a customer, he was confused and curious. I shook my head and pointed to the logo on my shirt. He peered down through his bifocals, said a simple "Okay," and he went on his way. No real words exchanged. I hauled it through the back aisles to the cash registers, paid, and got the heck out of there without any more unnecessary human contact. Yeah. I might have social anxiety issues. The next story is titled, The Best R/I Don't Work Here Lady. I was at the Hot Topic at my hometown mall, cringy, I know, looking for a new pop figure I need to complete my collection. Since the one I needs was a Hot Topic exclusive. I saw one of the employees struggling to restock, so I decided to help him out. It was heavy stuff to lift upon the shelves, to be quite honest. Moments after, a lady about the same age as me walked up to me and showed me a picture on her phone. She seemed frustrated. The photo was of an item that they sell exclusively at Hot Topic, the same exact pop figure I was looking for. She then proceeded to ask me, "Can you check in the back to see if you have this in stock, please?" She was pretty polite, so I responded, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't work here, but I would love to help you find it." She became furious, which I can understand. She then screamed, "I just saw you stock the shelves, are you really that lazy that you have to tell me you don't work here?" She then storms off. I became concerned considering it was a misunderstanding and nothing more, plus, she was already frustrated about the pop figure. I began to look for her so I could help her out. I found her speaking to the manager of Hot Topic. "That's the guy the first mentioned, I want this pop figure, but he refused to check for me." I walked towards them and the manager said, "I am sorry, but he really doesn't work here." She then looked at me, annoyed but also embarrassed. Then stormed out. I walked up to the manager and inquired about the pop figure. He had 3 in stock. I purchased 2 of them. I walked out of the store, bag in hand, and walked towards the pretzel cart to get a bite to eat. I sat there for about 15 minutes, then walked towards GameStop. I wanted a new game, but that's not why I went there. As soon as I walked in, I saw the girl browsing the Pokemon section. I walked behind her and pulled out one of the pop figures, then basically displayed it in front of her face while I was behind her. She quickly turned around and saw me. Her face went from bland to totally embarrassed. I told her to take it. She began frantically apologizing while I assured her it was no big deal either way. I then invited her to a drink, which she agreed to. Her name is Allison. We've been together for 2 years now. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and post some bear emojis in the comment.